Hi, I'm August Keller, and this is my review of Sinners. So, this movie's great. I found it very bountiful. There's just so much to get out of it, so much you can keep dissecting it, or you can just enjoy it on a surface level. It really infuses entertainment with a lot of meaning. The plot is very concise. It really kind of converges on one location. There are very clear rules and clear turning points in the script that keep escalating. It's deceptive how simple the story seems because the plot itself is so concise and easy to follow. But, that's really fleshed out with a lot of drama that's very efficiently developed. Every character has these backstories, but they're kind of alluded to quickly and concisely again. All the characters are very compelling. They have intersecting motivations and conflicts. A lot of them are flawed, and this all kind of comes together for a lot of really satisfying arcs. Almost all the main characters' arc. One of whom really kind of his arc really kind of underscores a lot of themes. Speaking of themes, everything kind of works together to serve the themes of there are a lot of weighty themes that all kind of like blend together. It touches on power, spirituality, exploitation, community, and history. Like the history, like on a personal level, your personal history, your social, cultural history, and just kind of like the immortality of it, which is very metaphorical with the genre, high concept genre stuff. But really, I think the real underscoring message is kind of like it revels in the preciousness of freedom. Like the movie is really just kind of an ode to freedom, which I think is great. There's so much you can unpack about it, but really at the end of the day, it's easy to just kind of take away the beauty of freedom. So I like that. I like when there's a lot of themes, but also just one central theme. The acting is really ranged. It really kind of goes through all the emotions. There's humor, there's intensity, there's vulnerability, and it's all very humanizing. There's a lot of layered tension, a lot of lived-in chemistry. Everyone really, I believe that all these characters have all this history together. Everyone's got a vivid personality. They're all kind of contrasting. There's a lot of committed physicality, whether it's singing or dancing or, the action sequences or physical, like, trembling. And yeah, there's a lot of thoughtful vulnerability. And what I mean by thoughtful is that it's not like overstated. It's not just being this showy crying. It's very measured and believable, and I think is almost more vulnerable in the way that it's like bleeds through. So yeah, Sinners is very intimate yet universal. It feels like a very personal story, but also a story that can apply to everyone can take something out of. It feels big, like it's tackling these big ideas, but it's really coming from a very specific person, a very specific place, like a real thoughtful artist thought about this story and told this story. And yeah, it's just a showcase of intelligence and creativity. It's a very well crafted story. Technically, Sinners really wields a lot of dynamic tones and genres into one very unique, cohesive thing. The direction really pops with it's a lot of subtlety, but then there's like these pops of spectacular flourishes, very spectacle. The craft really kind of shines at times. The cinematography, sometimes it gets a little dark in the third act, which I'm not a fan of, but mostly it's a lot of source lighting, like sunrises, sunsets, or candlelight kind of thing, or lanterns. And then there's these long tracking shots that feel very immersive, and some of which are very, very showy. The editing has, some might say it's a little long, but it has this book-ended structure, a lot of clear turning points, like I said. The structure is very clear, and there has a lot of inserts and intercuts and action that really kind of, again, pop. The sound has genre elements, of course, whether that's action or horror, but also a lot of symbolic subjectivity, whether it's like non-diegetic stings where it's like they're conveying something that the characters are talking about but isn't literally there, but you can hear it, or like emphasis or intimate silence or muting. The music is maybe the best part of the movie. It's hard to say because there's so much that's great about the movie, but the music is, I think, immediately iconic. It's centered around Southern blues, but there's a lot of anachronism about it. Like they include music from different eras that don't match the era that is the movie is set in, but they kind of all tie it all together. The kind of flow of these genres and how they all kind of influence each other, because the movie is very much about music, and the music is kind of like a contemplation of culture. Culture is a very big part of this movie, a big theme of the movie, and music, the timelessness of music, the way music kind of transcends time and space, the way it transcends groups of people and communities. The music really kind of ties this all together. The production design conveys a very palpable time and place, a very palpable setting. It's Jim Crow era Mississippi, and it really is just kind of looming over the story. The setting is just kind of always imposing itself on the characters. The cast has fame, representation, skill, and I think maybe career-defining fit. This might be Michael B. Jordan's career-defining role. I mean, it'll be hard to say because he's had such a good career already and he's got a lot left to do, but this is, I think, a role that people are going to remember him for. The effects are they use stunts and pyrotechnics, CGI, prosthetics, blood, and it all kind of, heightens the scale without distracting from the authenticity, which is great. So yeah, I think Sinners is an instant modern classic. I try not to say that flippantly or easily. I try to reserve these kind of statements for movies that really deserve it. And yeah, I think Sinners is clearly the best movie of the year so far. Definitely one of the best horrors in the last couple decades, and I'm confident will be in my top 10 at the end of the year. I'm battling for number one. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Go see it. It's a really good movie and definitely something worth making an effort for. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you would feel like liking and subscribing, I would appreciate it. I also have an Instagram linked in the description, but at the very least, I just appreciate you spending a little time with me. And I'll see you next time. Okay, thanks.